You've worked for decades, saved what you could, and dreamed of the day you'd finally retire stress-free. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most retirements don't fail because people are lazy or reckless. They fail because no one warned them about the 5 landmines waiting down the road. These are the 5 biggest threats to your retirement according to current 2026 data and financial research, and what you can do right now to avoid being part of the cautionary tale. The first biggest threat to your retirement is always going to be underestimating inflation's slow burn. Inflation is the silent destroyer of retirement dreams. It doesn't need to spike to do lasting damage. It just needs to linger. In 2025, inflation averaged 3.2%, and early 2026 numbers hover right around 3.3%. But key retiree costs like healthcare, housing, and food are rising at 5 to 6%. That quiet spread compounds over decades. At just 3% inflation, your cost of living doubles roughly every 24 years. So if you retire at 65, and let's say you have a $70,000 lifestyle, you're going to need $140,000 in your late 80s just to keep up. Most people don't plan for that. They budget for a flat line of income and watch their buying power slowly dissolve. Why it crushes retirees? Well, you don't feel it year to year until suddenly your grocery bill, insurance, and prescriptions cost 40% more, and your comfortable income can't stretch. What's the smart fix? Build inflation to every number you forecast. Use conservative return estimates, maybe around 5%, and always assume 3% inflation as your baseline reality, not as an exception. The second biggest threat to your retirement is going to be treating healthcare as an afterthought. Healthcare inflation is not the same as regular inflation. It's actually much worse. Fidelity's 2025 data shows that the average couple will spend about $345,000 in after-tax dollars on healthcare in retirement, excluding long-term care. The Department of Health and Human Services reports nearly 70% of Americans over age 65 will need some form of long-term care. Industry data from CareScout shows median annual costs of around $74,000 for assisted living and $130,000 for a nursing home. Very few retirees have planned for that level of expense. Most assume that Medicare will cover it, but Medicare doesn't cover long-term custodial care, and private insurance groups rarely fills the gap. Why it crushes retirees? Healthcare can blow through 20 to 30% of your nest egg before you even realize what's happening. Illness or care needs often hit one spouse hard, leaving the surviving partner financially stranded, especially for women who statistically live longer. The smart fix? Instead, segregate and invest healthcare money to the side. Either dedicate a portion of your portfolio, maybe 15 to 20%, and invest that specifically for home healthcare or long-term care. You can also fund an HSA aggressively while working, or you can plan a manageable long-term care strategy early on. You can do this through hybrid life policies, long-term care policies, annuities, or even asset earmarking. Healthcare and long-term care options should be included in your personal income plan. The third biggest threat to your retirement is holding on to the 4% rule like it's gospel. The 4% rule is the absolute zombie of personal finance. It refuses to die, even though the world that created it has. It was designed in the 1990s when bond yields were 6%, inflation was 2%, and life expectancy was much lower. None of that is true anymore. In 2026, the realistic safe withdrawal rate is somewhere between 3.3 and 3.8%, depending on your portfolio structure, inflation rate, and your risk tolerance. Clinging to a 4% rule in a volatile market can drain your principal too fast, especially when bear markets hit early in retirement, also called sequence of risk returns. Why it crushes retirees? Well, you start strong, and then a down market early on wipes out years of compounding. What looks safe mathematically becomes ruinous in real time. What's the smart fix? Adopt a dynamic withdrawal plan. Adjust what you take out each year based on performance and inflation. Keep 3 to 5 years of spending in cash or short-term treasuries to avoid selling at the wrong time. The fourth biggest threat to your retirement is carrying debt into retirement. There was a time when retirement meant being debt-free. Now, about 40% of retirees still owe on their mortgage, or roughly 1 in 5 still carries credit card or personal loan balances. Debt isn't just a monthly payment problem, it just magnifies every other risk. It makes it harder to adjust spending in downturns. Inflation hits harder when you're servicing interest, and healthcare shocks or market corrections can tip you into a crisis even faster if you're already leveraged. Why it crushes retirees? Fixed debts plus variable expenses equal no flexibility. If you are already on a fixed income, debt works like reverse compounding, costing you more of your freedom each year. What's the smart fix? Enter into retirement with as little debt as possible. And if you must carry a mortgage, refinance to minimize payments before you stop working and aggressively eliminate high interest debt well ahead of retirement. The fifth and final threat to your retirement is ignoring longevity risk, living too long. Most retirees fear dying early, but the real risk is living decades longer than expected. A 65-year-old couple today has a nearly 50% chance that one partner will live past 90, and about 1 in 4 chance one lives to 95. That means that your money might have to last 30 years, possibly even 35 years, in an economy where inflation, medical expenses, and lower returns all erode value. Traditional planning aimed for 25 years, those 5 to extra 10 years is where many run dry. Why it crushes retirement? Outliving your savings doesn't mean financial stress, it means reduced quality of life, exactly when you need comfort and care the most. What is the smart fix? Plan for a 30 to 35 year time horizon, not 20 to 25. You want to look to build guaranteed income streams like annuities, deferred pensions, or even laddered treasuries that cover your essential monthly expenses for life. Treat your portfolio as supplemental, not your sole paycheck. The bottom line, survival is about flexibility, not perfection. Most retirements fail not because someone made one huge mistake, but because they made 5 small ones that multiplied. They ignored inflation, they're winging healthcare, they're clinging to old rules, they're keeping debt, and they're underestimating longevity. The retirees who thrive in 2026 and beyond share one trait: adaptability. They plan as if things will go wrong because odds are something will. The goal isn't a perfect projection, it's resilience, because the future won't crush your retirement if you've already built your plan strong enough to bend, not break. So if you're nearing retirement or you're in retirement and you feel like something's off, let's talk. Go to MyIncomePlan.com and download your very own retirement income guide today, and we will see you on the back roads of retirement.